How's it going? My name is Hooked in the Rockies, or also Jarrett. Not going to get into my last name. Don't need to put that out there. I'm a young guy. I love anything from fishing to hiking to just anything in the outdoors. I'm always up in the woods and all that, and I live in beautiful Utah. And right now it's a snowy day. It's pretty bad out, and I'm wanting to learn how to do a type of fly fishing called Euro Nymphing, and it's also known as straight line nymphing. I've fly fished for years, love dry fly fishing. Absolute favorite is seeing the fish hit it on the top water. Incredible how cool it can be to watch fish eat off the surface. But I'm wanting to get into Euro nymphing. I went and bought a few things that I was told I needed to start out with, and I'm going to document my journey. I also want to do something here in Utah where I believe there's 30 to 31 game species. Some of them aren't game species, some of them I just want to catch. But I went through the Utah database and I put pretty much every single fish on there other than the endangered species, and then I grouped together like bluegill, pumpkin seeds, all those under one species. Mainly because there's not very much of a difference or anything. You can typically find them in the same areas. And like I said, there's about 30 of them. And I'm wanting to give myself a year, and I want to document my journey in catching every single one of those species on video. With a rod and reel, whether it's fly fishing, whether it's set line fishing. Well, I won't set line, but you guys get the point. I want to document myself catching all these different species and having fun with it. I want to go after them anyway, so why not try to document it and let those who don't know much about fishing tag along. Alright, so to get started with Euro nymphing, there's a few different things I've been told you can do. You can go buy yourself a pre-made leader from, I believe Rio makes one or two, or there's got to be some out there where you're not using your actual fly line, you're using like a 20-foot leader or however long of one you buy. Well, I looked at the prices of them and it's $10 for the leader. And I'm a young guy, I like to save money, so I went out and I bought the stuff that I was told I needed for the leader. Yes, everyone has a different way of making these leaders. I've watched plenty of these videos to learn how to do these and all that, and what I was told you need to start with is what everyone recommends is 20-pound Maxima Chameleon line. It is a mono line, so it does give stretch, and everyone says, oh, you can do 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. There's some people that do 20 feet leaders just of this. Well, on the videos that I saw, that worked the best for people is they would do a 48-inch piece of this, then drop down to 15-pound in the same line, and then do another 48-inch piece of that, and then do a 48-inch piece of the 12-pound. Then what everyone does is they do a indicator mono. So this is what an indicator mono is. It has two different colors. This is the 13.9 pounds, 14-pound line, and it is a high vis color. If you guys can see this, it's a red that switches to a yellow. You can see the transition right there, and you use like 3 feet of this stuff. Forgot one thing. On the end of that leader, what you do is you use the tippet rings. Now I'm using the 3mm. Yes, there are a bit smaller ones, but I'm wanting to use the bigger one because it is more visible. when you tie your tippet on. And I'm going to be trying to learn how to Euro nymph with it being in cold with snow on the ground and late winter, early spring, that time of year. So I'm going to show you guys how I've really paid attention and set up my Euro nymphing leaders. But other than that, you can do whatever you want to do. This is just how I learned how to do it. Alrighty, starting out, you want to take your 20-pound Maxima million. You want to do 4 feet piece. I'm 6 feet tall, so right about here would be a 4-foot piece. Just gonna cut it a bit long. Then I always like to keep my lines like this all neat and clean, so always put the rubber band back on. I'm gonna repeat that last step with both the 15 and the 12-pound, doing about 48 inches. You can measure it, do whatever you want to do. I'm just doing rough guesses on mine. There's the 15 cut, and here is the 12, if I can find the line. Alright, I've got my 3 main leader lines out. Then I'm going to take my indicator line, wherever it's balanced, right there. And I'm going to do since it comes in the 2 different colors, I'm going to go with the red, yellow, and then red again. And right where it starts transitioning back to the yellow, so right here, right in the middle of the screen, I'm going to trim that right there and set it to the side. Alrighty, so on all these videos, all you have to do is tie leader to leader. Everyone that I saw used whatever knot they're good at. I don't know what knot this is called. I've always just called it my line to line. Over loop it a little bit, do a loop, wrap it around 3 to 4 times. Feed it through, wet the line, and pull it tight. Turn the line over and do the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, and wet the line again, pull it tight. Then right here, you're going to want to wet the line in between those knots and pull it tight right there. You guys can see that's a nice clean knot. Nothing really poking out or anything like that. Then what you want to do is just trim your tag ends as close as you can. Yes, I hear the blood knot works better on this. I haven't really cared to learn the blood knot. I've never had a problem with this knot. And boom, right there. Got my 20-pound on this side, my 15 on this side, and it is strong as could be. Got to take the 15-pound, hold it out, grab my 12-pound, and do the exact same thing. Gonna take it over here, do a loop knot, or not a loop knot, make a loop, wrap it 3 times, wet it, pull it tight. Flip it around, make a loop, spin it around 3 times. Try not to lose your grip on it. 1, 2, 3, and then pull the tag in, wet the knot, pull it tight, wet your line right here, and pull it nice and tight. And you have a beautiful connection like that. Trim your tag ends. like so. Make sure it's all nice and tight and it won't break on you. And then take the end of this guy, of your 12-pound, and find the end of your indicator line and do the same knot right here. 2, 3. I'm going to do 4 on the indicator line since it is a thinner line by the fill, and only 3 on the chameleon line. So it's a small line that I always lose my hand on this stuff. And then feed it back through, wet the line, and then make sure to wet the line, pull tight, and if you guys can see, that's a nice tight line junction. Then all you're going to want to do is trim your line. Pull it tight to make sure your connection is good. Once you trim it, and go on down, you're going to want to take your tippet ring. I like to just leave mine on the package like this. Find the one all the way over on to the side of the way that it comes off. What you're going to want to do is do a clench knot. And just wrapping it around 7 or 8 times. Feeding it back through itself. This is not an improved clench knot, just a normal clench knot. Wet your line. Pull it tight. Like so. You can see that. Nice and tight. Trim your tag end off while it's still on the tippet ring. And then take it off like that. Didn't lose one or anything like that. Now, some people are perfectly okay with it like this, how it is, but with the videos I saw, what is a good idea is on this first junction up from your ring, you want to find that little junction between the red and the yellow, cut it, and then tie it back together using the same knot that you've been using, whether it's the blood knot or I think it's called the sturgeon knot or whatever it is. Doing your loops around, wetting the line, pulling it tight. But with this guy, once you trim it, once again, gotta make sure you keep your hand on your line. I already pre-wetted the line, and you're going to pull it tight, make a nice junction, and you're not going to trim these all the way close. What you're going to do is you're going to want to leave a good little inch tag on either side. And what that does is it makes it where it's just a touch more visible when it's out in the water. Now, what I've read is you do not want these in the water. You don't want your indicator line in the water. Off the tippet ring, you can tie whatever tippet you want on it. I where I'm at, I typically like to do around a 5x, 5 to 6x, mainly because most of the fish around me aren't very big. And yeah, so just to recap, stuff you will need: 20-pound chameleon, 15, and 12. Some people don't do the tapered. If not, you can do straight, however long you want of those guys. I'm only using a 9-foot rod, so I'm not going to do a long leader. And then your indicator line and a tippet ring. And yeah, that's about it. Alrighty, the next step that I've seen people do is they will make a loop knot. I've never really been good at doing the improved loop knots, so I do my own, where I waste a good little bit of line, but it's all good. Make pretty much 2 loops, if I can get it to make a second loop. There we go. So have 2 loops there. Take the tag end, go around the back, go through the front, and make however big of a loop you want. I like where my finger just barely fits into it. Always wet your line, and I'm going to pull it tight. Now, yes, it is a bit big of a knot, but I like it. I got a little bubble. Cool, I was able to take it down, and then you can trim this guy however close you want. Like so. And that will be going onto your fly line right here. Now, what I would like to do when I wrap it up is I will take my left hand, hook it onto my pinky, take these 3 fingers, make a triangle shape with it, and wrap it. There's the, now I'm into the 15, the 12, the indicator line, and then I'm going to get all the way up to the junction right there. Make a few wraps where I have about 10 or so inches. Take my tag, wrap it around. Then I have this long line, and I like taking the thinner line when doing this since it's more visible, and I will wrap it around this like so. Once you get a few wraps, it will stay together, so you can take your hands off of it. Don't have to hold it as tightly, and this just helps keep them tight in your fly vest or box or whatever you want to keep it in. Then I take my tag end, tuck it down, and then wrap it with this thing until I run out of this line around. This is the same way I wrap my leaders if I'm changing flies to something bigger or smaller. So yeah, there is my Euro Nymphing leader. Now, some people might get mad that you're doing this. I always straighten my line before I always use them, so this doesn't bother me. It's tight, compact, and easy to store. Thanks for watching this video. This is going to be probably my first video and tutorial on how to build one of those Euro Nymphing setups. I think I was in it a total of maybe 15 bucks, 20 bucks, and I've already made 3 Euro Nymphing leaders off of it, just so I can practice, see if there's something I like different about it, all that. You can go buy the normal ones, like I've said, but might as well build your own. So if there's anything you guys think I can do better on these videos, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.